Too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle.
Free control on our ship became too hot to handle.
It's back, baby. The show that reminds me how bad I am with women and has taught me more than my 8th grade sex ed class.
Do any girls wake up horny?
Morning dew.
Do the do.
Season 2 of Too Hot to Handle is a delightful train wreck that will just have to tide us over until my most anticipated show of 2021, Sexy Beasts.
How you doing? Damn. How you doing?
Could you fall in love with someone based on personality alone?
And don't worry, if you haven't seen Season 1, I have a whole video on that in the description below.
No heavy petting
This is literally bullshit.
or sex of any kind.
So come be abstinent with me as we take a deep dive into the season and make some real emotional connections.
The purpose of this retreat is to help you gain deeper and more emotional connections.
I signed up for dick.
But before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe. Seriously, only like 3% of you who watch my videos are subscribed. With season 1 being a hit, the producers had to come up with a clever way to fool the contestants to be on the show. Because if there's anything you can take away from this show, it's manipulation always pays off. We're on the gorgeous set of Parties in Paradise, decked out with its own fake host, Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Who we see for one scene and never again. So kinda like Kayla. And in true Too Hot to Handle fashion, the contestants are brought in and given the chance to show just how ready they are to find deep, meaningful connections.
My name's Emily and my passion in life is boys. I'm the real life Legally Blonde, but I'm also illegally horny.
Am I undeniably sexy? Yes.
And undeniably modest. The first two to arrive are Carly
I hate rules, and I do not follow them.
Whatever, I do what I want.
and Melinda.
I do have limits in the bedroom. Do not pull my hair. Don't touch my wig.
Already got you covered.
They're quickly introduced to the first male contestant of the group, Nathan, a UK-born cowboy from Dallas who's also a stripper.
That too, the law says that you cannot touch. But I think I see a lot of lawbreakers up in this house.
Emily's up next, a nun from London, followed by Chase, a football player. So you're probably wondering, oh, what NFL team does he play for?
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Oh, nice.
But I play football in Canada.
Hold up, you play in the CFL? That's like saying you're taking your girl out for a romantic dinner fit for royalty, but you end up going to Burger King. I'm just playing Chase. The dude has his own YouTube channel and is in the NFL Developmental League right now, so show him some love, which he didn't get on the show. Then there's Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders.
Today, this is my fucking wedding day.
Cam here considers himself a sexy nerd, milady, and boy will we get into him. Then there's Larissa, whose boobs try to distract us from her teeth. And normally I wouldn't body shame, it's not cool, but the show is called Too Hot to Handle, so hopefully you'll grant me some leeway here. Next is Peter, whose claim to fame is being a huge TikToker. And you might think, oh, he must have some great content over there. Well, 80% of it is him covering himself in liquids and taking off his pants. He's also part Hobbit. Seriously, look at him next to Chase and the girls. The last two contestants are Kayla, who has less screen time than the robotic host Lana, and Marvin, the French man with the dance moves of a god.
I'm a dancer. I can do a lot of dance. You know, a little bit of doogie and stuff. You dance like this, they like it.
Damn, you're lucky with that handsome smile. These guys believe they're in for a crazy few weeks of debauchery, but Lana is soon to quash their wet dreams.
Yo, we are too hot.
No, it's not too hot to handle. This can't be too hot to handle. I bet.
And with $100,000 at stake, which of our contestants will persevere, find love, and take the prize money home? And how much of that money, for that matter? For every sexual infraction, money is deducted from the pile. This means no heavy petting, handies, or even self-gratification. And by episode 2, there are already 7 violations, resulting in $21,000 being deducted from the grand total. That's right, roughly half of all the violations this season happen in this one episode. And this can be attributed to contestants coupling up. These couples include Cam and Emily, Marvin and Melinda, and Chase and Carly.
Come on, girl.
Oh my god!
And I already know Chase stands no chance with Carly strolling into the resort looking like The Rock circa 1994. So the gang is sent on a workshop to learn about self-restraint, and what better way than with whips and feathers? Needless to say, it didn't go as planned.
Nathan got a boner, so I must be doing something right.
I got a boner.
And with only a few days in, some of the couples give in to temptation. Melinda and Carly make out with Peter to make their men jealous, because nothing says jealousy like making out with a guy who does this for a living. And poor Emily. She's starting to fall in love with Cam, a guy who says shit like this.
I keep my word to people sometimes, and
Sometimes it doesn't mean shit. Sometimes, honestly, it's not the best policy. Deny till you die, or you're caught in the act.
Oh, he's gonna get in trouble.
Cam is so wound up by not being able to bone Emily that he has to engage in a Vankel-Shankel pact. Now, I've searched the depths of Urban Dictionary for this, but I can't find a definition. Any of my UK friends, if this is some sort of slang, please, I need to know what this means in the comments. Basically, Cam asks Chase and Peter to stand guard for him while he, self-gratifies himself. And the genius way he gets his friends to agree to this is telling them it's an investment.
But this is an investment. Yeah, this is an investment.
If he jerks off now, it'll pay dividends in the future when he's less horny to hit up Emily. And I gotta say, the boys do a great job guarding.
Nathan just took a massive dump in the bathroom. You gotta wait like 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, the investment pays off as well as my GameStop stock, as the very next day, Cam and Emily are invited to the private suite where they blow $5,000. This is due to excessive grinding and self-touching. So basically my high school experience. But things are about to get even more precarious for Cam as two new contestants arrive to shake things up. Meet Christina from
South Africa.
At first I thought she had an Obama tattoo, but it turns out it's Ohana.
Ohana means family.
Then there's Robert from the UK, who is the quintessential English gentleman. Christina and Robert don't know they're on Too Hot to Handle, but when they find out,
We can't have sex when we're in there.
Robert?
these new arrivals cause the other contestants to get mad jealous, with some hoping the connections they made can withstand these new temptations. Just take a look at my man Chase when Carly goes on a date with Robert. But it's Cam who comes out the loser in this scenario, as Christina tells Emily that Cam instigated a kiss. And when Emily confronts Cam about this, he's like,
"This is the end."
It's no wonder Lana believes the contestants aren't making any progress in their emotional connections, so she instigates Operation Wake Up Call, kicking off two contestants who haven't developed those connections or who she believes aren't here for the right reasons. She ends up booting Kayla and Peter in the process.
This is no place for a hobbit!
While the girls attend a workshop aimed at letting go of the past, the men are...
Oh, I thought this was gonna be like a toenail cutter.
That's a circumciser.
And then it's time to get the infamous green light watches. If you remember from season 1, contestants are given these smartwatches which light up green only if there is a genuine connection, allowing the contestant to break the rules without any penalty for a limited amount of time. And considering how some of these men last only 20 seconds, I'm sure this will be plenty of time.
$8,000 for 20 seconds?
It was probably much less than that.
While Emily decides to give Cam one final chance, Chase tries to see what's going on with Carly until a giant cockroach lands on his face. At least someone's getting cock on this show. Check out Chase's unique pillow placement strategy here. He'll use this advanced technique several times throughout the show, and believe me, if I had the blue balls like these guys, I'd be using it too. Also, to the editors on the show, you're doing my man Marvin dirty with having these weird 2-second cutaway clips of him, like when he's looking like Silence of the Lambs, has pink sparkles in his hair, or looks like he just dumped his entire face in a vat of mustard. Meanwhile, things aren't going well for Carly and Chase.
You don't make me feel confident. You honestly don't. You make me feel like I'm like ugly. Honestly, I deserve better. I do.
Not the best thing you want to be hearing from your lady. And when 3 new arrivals make it to the island, Chase is like,
I mean, I was bothered by the whole Carly situation. Then again, Tabitha comes along and I'm sitting here like, Carly who?
Who's Carly?
Carly, slide into my DMs. There's no one who will treat you better than a desperate YouTuber. So these new arrivals include Elle, who gets slightly more screen time than Kayla, Tabitha,
He's huge. Just how I like it.
I'll believe that when I see it.
and Joey, who's using his flair as a penis. And immediately, Chase and Tabitha hit things off.
Nah, I smell awful. Actually.
That's nice. I like it.
Around this time, we get our biggest violation of the season. Marvin and Melinda go all the way, costing a whopping $20,000. I haven't heard someone pay that much for sex since...
I'm gonna come.
Now they need to prove to the others this wasn't a one-time fling. Speaking of healthy relationships, just take a look at Chase's face when Tabitha crawls into bed naked. He's gotten over Carly pretty quick. But if these men are really going to grow, they'll need to master their immaturity in a brand new workshop.
What do you guys think they're learning down there?
Wow.
I feel like they're learning about communication.
Hello, you. We've had some good times. Very good times, you know. Remember those twins?
Yes, the men will have to chat it out with their ding-dongs to master their immaturity.
I definitely need to talk to my penis because We spend the most money here. Really bad penis.
But it doesn't end there. The men are tasked with a painting exercise, and I'm thinking that they lost a great opportunity to unleash their inner Dicassos and paint with their tallywhackers. The workshop does have a big breakthrough. Marvin realizes his fear of commitment stems from his childhood and lack of a father figure. He wants to treat women the way he'd treat his mother and not like his deadbeat dad.
I want to be the opposite of what my father did.
Yeah.
I want to be a man for my family, for my future wife, my future children.
This opening up gives him and Melinda one of the most well-earned green lights of the season. On a side note, you might have noticed a lot of the contestants snapping instead of clapping. I couldn't find a definitive answer to this. Either they're recreating the crab dance or producers told them to snap instead of clap as it messes up the mics. But if you know the real reason, let us know in the comments. With only a few days left at the retreat, Lana clamps down and eliminates 2 more contestants. Contestants who have shown little to no growth or meaningful connections. And just as quick as he came, Robert is gone along with Christina. Emily goes all in on Cam, but just look at how uninterested he is.
Wifey for lifey.
And this is the main drama for the tail end of the season, as Cam needs to decide where his heart lays. He's even tempted into a naked shower by Tabitha, which he denies after about 5 grueling minutes. If he were 100% into Emily, he'd be like, no way Tabitha, but Cam is still holding on to his old player ways. At least he mans up and later tells Emily how he's conflicted, and the producers just had to have him in a devil outfit with this red mood lighting. Meanwhile, Nathan has a chat with Larissa, basically telling her she's too closed off emotionally. Where would he get a thing like that?
This workshop is freaking me out a bit because I hate emotions and all that gross, boring stuff.
This sparks Larissa to remove herself from the show and go back to Harvard to finish her law degree. With only 2 days left, the couples are given another chance to grow those connections in a series of romantic dates. Marvin and Melinda go on a yacht where Marvin expresses his love to her and asks her to be his girlfriend. He's gone from flirting with other girls to make her jealous to completely infatuated with her. In fact, their night in the private suite where they didn't break any rules, he says was one of the best nights of his life. Emily and Cam have their one-on-one, which isn't as romantic as Marvin and Melinda's, partly because Cam doesn't know how to express what happened in the shower with Tabitha.
You know, she's attractive girl, we can both agree on that. Positive? No?
No.
It was a valiant try, Cam, but getting past that and the fact Emily's earrings can pick up Wi-Fi a mile away, Cam expresses his interest in Emily and asks her to be his girlfriend.
We were speaking the other night and you said some nice things to me and I got a bit of a semi, and that's weird.
What, non-sexual?
Emotional semi.
Yes, you know it's real when you start getting those emotional semis. With the final day upon us, it's now time to see how the current prize pool of $55K will be split up, but Lana has a surprise. Unlike last season, there will only be one winner.
What would you guys do at $55K if you won it?
Strip club.
Yeah, Joey, you aren't winning. And as they Viking burial all the traumas and emotions they've grown out of, Lana tells them she has chosen a final 3 for the prize pool, and that'll be up to the others to cast their votes for a winner. Bring back Jeff. No, not that one. Better.
Yeah.
We have a survivor situation on our hands. Lana's final 3 include Carly, Cam, and Marvin, all 3 of whom have shown some degree of change. And when all is said and done, Carly gets 0 votes, Cam 3, and Marvin 4. And I gotta say, I agree with this decision. Marvin showed the greatest change, going from not really caring about Melinda to calling her his queen and wanting her to come to Paris to meet his mom. Cam and Carly, they did improve, just not to the extent Marvin did. Now you might be asking yourself, are these couples still together? At the time of this writing, we don't have any definitive answers on this, as it seems the cast may not be able to disclose any info until a few days or weeks after the last batch of episodes drop. However, we do know couples like Cam and Emily and Marvin and Melinda often like each other's posts on Instagram, so who knows? Overall, I thought Season 2 was a downgrade from Season 1, and that might be partly because Season 1 was just so fresh I never really knew how the show was going to work, but it probably has more to do with the cast. The cast was just better in Season 1. I still remember Harry and Francesca, but I doubt in a few months I'll remember any of the cast here. But hey, what do I know? The comment section is where we'll battle it out and where I want to see what you thought of the season. And Carly, if you're there, my DMs are open. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.